Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Max Kellerman is back again. And for many of us, we can't believe what Max is turning into. Prior to Max joining forces with Rich Paul on his podcast, we were supporters of Max. I certainly was, with that situation that went down with him and Stephen A. Smith, right? And when we got the news that Max was going to be making his return to sports media soon, I celebrated. I was excited. Some people were excited, right? But ever since his return to sports media, specifically this project that he's doing with Rich Paul, some of the things that he's been saying on this show has really been causing a lot of us that were supporters of Max to just be like, you know what, man, I think we're kind of done with this right now. What am I talking about? Ever since Max Kellerman has gone on the show, ever since they started doing this show, he's been making a lot of headlines for stuff that he said about the Lakers. He's had a few wacky takes here and there. And today, I was just going through the internet and I came across some sound here from another one of their episodes from their show, where in this case, he was targeting Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant, funny enough, just did an interview with Hakeem Olajuwon. I watched bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the full thing, but it was pretty cool. I'll probably watch some more of it a little bit later. So that's the last time I saw KD. And then, so I tuned into this clip to hear what they were talking about. And Max Kellerman just starts going off on KD, talking about, basically he was essentially trying to diminish Kevin Durant's legacy while at the same time trying to uphold LeBron's legacy. And the irony in this entire clip here is that Rich Paul was the one trying to uphold KD's legacy. And Max Kellerman was like, no, man, he made the thing unfair, man, and nobody could beat you guys and beat these guys. And I'm like, Max, what's going on here? Like, what is this what you're becoming? Or is this who we've always been? I'm confused, man. As a huge supporter of Max Kellerman, I'm surprised that he's going down the road, turning into a person that does these kind of things about various NBA players, all to uplift one guy. I just don't get it. So what we want to do is we're going to play what Max had to say here, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Max Kellerman had to say about Kevin Durant as he spoke to Rich Paul. Take a listen to this sound here.
One of my favorite players, by the way. I'm not picking on him because I don't like him or something, but I'm telling you how I feel about it and how I think about it. In KD's case, the championships are not like, for example, LeBron's championship in Cleveland, is because instead of demonstrating the thing that I just said, he entered a situation where that team is now so much better, probably than any team ever, that there's no way for them, if they're healthy, for them to lose. They can't lose. Did LeBron James and the Cavs, who had an excellent team that year, have a shot against that Warriors team? Was there a chance in hell they could beat that team?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Do you agree, yes or no, that they had a chance in hell, or they did not?
I do think they had a chance. Yes.
Really?
I do think they had a chance because
Really?
Yes, really. Because
they got stomped out.
Yeah, but in a series, the series is a lot closer than the end result of whether it was 4-1 or 4-0. Because if you win, there's momentum swings in series. If you win game one versus the charge call or whatever the case may be, if it's a tie series 1-1 going into game three, now that team steals home court advantage.
There's nothing, I hear you normally, but not again. Rich,
but
they had Steph and KD and Clay and Dre. It was over.
Listen, I'm not that person. I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, just because you had names. No. That Golden State Warriors won that series fair and square.
Okay, time out.
And they
in the year before, LeBron James, in one of the greatest games and moments and comebacks in the history of American team sports, at the peak of his powers, give or take, with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, was fortunate that Draymond Green lost his cool and got suspended, that they were able to come back and they won.
I disagree with that too. There's no
strike that from the record. I don't even.
But here's what I'm saying. That comment that you guys make, that's people trying to discredit.
I agree. But by the way, LeBron goaded him into making that mistake. So that's part of the game. I'm with you. My point is, it took everything and then some to barely overcome that team the year before. And then they added Kevin Durant. It's over. There's nothing you can do.
Let me tell you something.
Unless you added, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, there's nothing you can do.
There's something you could do. You can come back the next year and get better. And this is what I try to
as a franchise, you're saying.
This is what I try to explain to you. Okay, they came back from 3-1 and won. They went and got Kevin Durant and won. Oh, we need to get better to come back and combat what they did. Oh, we can't. Why? Because we don't have the capabilities to. That's it. That's the ball game.
Okay, but you're talking again about the point of view of the franchise. Stay with KD. With the evaluation of KD. KD overall skills, maybe the best player ever, right? Both sides of the ball, overall package, maybe the best player ever. But he is not considered by almost anyone the greatest player ever, because the way you prove greatness is through leading a team to a championship, but because he parachuted into the championship and put them so far over the he put them so far over the top they could not lose.
That team started with 0-0 win column loss, just like everybody else. Anything could have happened. And if something would have happened that prevented them, you guys would be saying different. That's where commentators and analysts and pundits differ from experts. That's the difference, because anything could happen. It's an 82-game regular season.
You know what happened?
And there's a playoff.
2 consecutive years, they stomped out everybody.
Okay, great.
That's what happened.
Yes, but they were.
And then when they didn't stomp out everyone? When KD got hurt. Now he's not available. Now you lose. It's pretty simple.
Right.
With KD, unbeatable team.
But that just happened in year 3 versus happening in year 1, and you don't wish it happened at all. But the point I'm trying to make is...
As Will Ferrell said in Anchorman, agree to disagree.
We agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you heard what Max had to say. My only thing is, why are they doing this, man? Like, this podcast has gotten in so much drama just for... it's like, it's almost as if they don't realize there's certain things they can't talk about on their show, but I guess they're like, to hell with that. We're going to talk about everyone. And it just seems to me like it always ends up with somebody twerking it up for LeBron at the end on this show. Now, to be fair, Max has kind of said some things about LeBron that most people won't say, like the time he kind of called him out on this same podcast during the, when he tried to stay in the game to score those 10 points and all that. Like, LeBron, what are you doing? He brought that up. Like, he pushed back on Rich Paul there. But overall, man, it's like, yo, what did K, like, if you're going to give, or rather, if you're going to talk about KD, talk about KD within himself. Like, just like talk about him. But to now throw LeBron under, and also, let me say this. As someone who watched those finals with Kevin Durant, he was the best player on the floor for the Golden State Warriors by a wide margin. Like, KD was the best player he was clearly the difference maker and arguably the best player on the floor at times. It was incredible. KD was so good during his championship run with Golden State that the second time that they won the championship, KD was actively trying to give away the Finals MVP so Stephen Curry would win it, and he just wasn't. He couldn't take it from KD. I remember KD actually going out there and purposefully trying to give up the ball and ensure that Curry got the shots, and Curry wasn't hitting the shots over. And the voters were like, "Nah, Kevin Durant, you are still the MVP of these finals." It was incredible, and I feel like, yes, he joined the super team, but bro, if you're going to be getting on KD like that, LeBron, like you're bringing, LeBron to 2016, fine. Kevin Durant hasn't had a championship like the 2016 one LeBron had, or the 2011 one Dirk had, or the 2010 one Kobe had, or the 2019 one Kawhi Leonard had. Great, fine, he hasn't had that. But a good amount of LeBron's championships were on super teams. And if you're going to be going this hard at KD over that, bring up LeBron joining the Miami Heat. I mean, for goodness sake, they had a celebration parade before the season even started because they were so confident that they were going to run the board. Like, talk about that as well. And we know you're not going to. So it's like, why are you just picking on this one guy? Keep it a buck about everybody. The Lakers were playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? And I was going to watch that game until I remembered that SGA was. I'm just not a fan of watching games where teams aren't at their full. I don't like watching games that are a foregone conclusion before the game starts. I like competitive basketball, right? And if it's not a competitive thing, I have zero interest in watching it. I didn't watch most of that game between them and the Golden State. I just don't like games where I know there's a competitive imbalance. So I don't watch those kind of games. But I was kind of peeping it. I saw the first quarter and then I just went to bed, right? I didn't watch the rest of it. But I woke up in the morning and I saw that the Lakers ended up losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder 110 to 119, right? So I then immediately went to the box score. And then if you look at it here, the Thunder, man, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double figures, man. 7 players in double figures, right? They were a well-oiled machine, man. 42% from the three-point line. They got 45 rebounds. They did their thing. In the case of the Lakers, what happened with the Lakers here? They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Okay, 6 players in double digits. Who is it? Rui had 12. And of course, he had a double. So now he had 10 rebounds with 6 points. This guy, anyway. Jake LaRavia had 14 points. Marcus Smart had 19 points. Austin Reeves had 16 points. LeBron actually led all scorers with 22 points in the game, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. But ultimately, it wasn't enough, right? It wasn't enough for him and for them to overcome this opponent. So after the game, when I woke up this morning, I'd already seen a post that Mitch sent for me from Courtside Buzz, right? And I want to put up the thumbnail for you guys. And it says here, you want to compare us to the Thunder? That's a championship team. We're not. LeBron James on the Los Angeles Lakers after Oklahoma City beat them 119 to 110. So later on in the day, as I was just kind of going through my day, I actually came across the clip of LeBron James himself talking when the media asked him this question. And we actually want to play the sound because I think you can kind of get the emotion behind everything that the guy was saying there. It's a very short video, I think about 30 seconds or so. So what I want to do is I want you guys to listen to LeBron as the reporter asks him the question, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what they had to say here.
They're the best team in the league, and they're a good measuring stick when you play them. Where are you seeing the gaps between like where they're at and the things they do well consistently versus like kind of the build that you guys are trying to put together?
You want me to compare us to them?
No, I want to know where you think though that like sort of as this team is on its like.
That's a championship team right there. We're not. So I don't understand.
What are the biggest things you think that are keeping this team as right now?
We can't sustain energy and effort for 48 minutes, and they can. That's why they won a championship.
Fantastic. So you heard what LeBron James had to say there, right? Now, the day prior, we had done a show about some major shakeups that are going to be taking place with the Lakers this offseason. As you guys know, Mark Walters, the owner of the Dodgers, they also bought the Lakers, right? And it looks like this offseason is when they're going to start to really put their imprint on this organization. Some people believe that people like Rob Pelinka, who you saw in the thumbnail, is in the hot seat. And when you have a LeBron making comments like this, it points directly to the management, team president, general manager. It points to them because he's essentially saying this is the roster that they've built, right? This is the roster that they built, and we're out here, and you're asking me to compare us to this team across the corridor. What do you mean? That's a championship team, and we're not. So he's also kind of pointing fingers at the organ. Whenever you say that, he doesn't mean I'm not a championship caliber player. He's saying that we don't have the unit to win a championship, and that speaks directly to management. Now the question is he throwing Mark Walter under the bus? I mean, Rob Pelinka under the bus? Some may say yes. Some may say, well, Rob Pelinka was already under the bus because of the report that we did yesterday, where people are expecting some major shakeups to happen with the team. Now, what's my take on all of this? First of all, the Lakers losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder is no surprise to me, really. Look, first of all, the Thunder are really good. That's number one. Number two, you got to understand that any combination at this point with LeBron, with either Reeves or Luka is just not good enough. At this point in his career, he's too old, man. It's not a knock on the guy. No one is throwing him under the bus. He's just not good enough. He's too old. Right? So we've seen him. He played with Luka for a good stretch. They were a 500 ball club, basically. Right? So them losing to a SGA-less Thunder comes as no surprise. Look, guys, the Lakers are not as good as I said it already. I'm just one of the people that said I believe they got worse once this guy returned. I believe that, and I'm still sticking by that notion. If you look at their standing in the Western Conference, they're a middle of the pack team. They're the fifth seed in the Western Conference. They've been hovering around 500. Sometimes they go on a little win streak and then they lose a game. Right now they're 6-4 over their last 10. And the funny part is, or rather the scary part, is that the Lakers have a good team coming up next. They're going to be playing against the Spurs tonight, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, they have the Mavs, and you're not going to write them off because the way Cooper Flag is playing out there. Then you have the Clippers, who are going to be desperate. Then you have the Celtics, who are, good luck with the Celtics. They're no joke. I mean, those guys will shoot you out of the state. Forget about the arena when it comes to three-point shooting. So, and then you have the Suns, another team vying for a spot in the playoffs. You have the Warriors. So the Lakers have a pretty tough schedule coming up. But the fact of the matter is this, man. If you're a Laker fan, you're not really paying too much attention to this season. You're paying attention to what this team will look like in the offseason, what moves they're going to make, but really the next summer. That's really because they're going to need to get a key piece here. Now, when LeBron leaves the team this summer, we're going to get a chance to see how Austin Reeves and Luka gels if he remains with the Lakers. Going into next season, we're going to get a chance. They look pretty good to begin the season. We'll see what they do in the offseason, who gets fired, whatever. But as it stands right now, this team isn't any good.